I am married to my husband. I didn't grow up feeling safe and protected, so I developed a lot of masculine energy. Now, in my marriage, I am noticing that my husband isn't as protective of me. He seems a bit distant. I want to connect with my feminine energy, so I am asking you all, what does your wife do that makes you see her as a gem rather than a rock? Story 1. When I get home from work, she comes out to the car and greets me. We have been married for 20 years. Story 2. I don't even know where to start. There are so many things. I have been married for over 15 years now, and I still love watching my wife do just about everything. My wife is very feminine. She always looks feminine, dresses femininely, and keeps her hair styled in a feminine way. I swear she makes anything look good. She has mastered the perfect blend of cute and sexy. She is highly intelligent, well-spoken, thoughtful, fair, sweet, kind, smiles a lot, and is loving, attentive, and gentle. I love everything about her so very much. Story 3. Not sure if this is what you were looking for, but I love watching my wife get ready in the morning. Women are so attentive to every inch of their skin, applying lotion, shaving, or plucking hairs, as she glides her hands up her legs to ensure they are smooth. Then she applies her makeup and does her hair. Usually, she does all of this either naked or in just panties. The smell of her perfume and lotion combined with her focus on her body, which I get to enjoy later, feels very feminine and sexy to me, even though she isn't necessarily trying to be. Story 4. Everything. Last night, we were filling a garden box we built together with new dirt. She's been wanting to try a small home garden to experiment, and I like to support her interests. While pouring dirt, she struggled to lift a 50-pound bag of gardening soil with compost. Her hair was messy and falling into her face, her glasses were nearly falling off, and she had soil and fertilizer smeared on her sweatpants. The very picture of frumpy. But that woman looked incredible. Sure, she's short and tiny. Yes, that bag was heavy. It was dark, and we were covered in biting bugs that appear whenever someone is trying to be productive in our backyard. It didn't matter. She was determined to get it done. I stopped to admire her for a moment. Her tenacity and perseverance, even over something most people would consider small, was a major turn-on. It didn't matter that the bag was almost as big as she is. By God, she was going to set that garden up if it took her all night. She pursues our relationship with the same determination, and that is attractive. It didn't help that she nearly got kicked out of a theme park we visited recently. The sign said no smoking, but she's always smoking, you know? Anyway, she's determined. She fights through anxiety, depression, doubt, and failure. I think she'd even stand up to God himself for us, and she might win. To me, that is incredibly attractive. Story 5. She greets me at the door when I get home. She spoils our dogs. She wears tank tops to bed. She sings loudly when she is taking a bath. She scratches my head after a hard day. She needlessly worries about the little things to make me happy. She playfully grabs my backside while I am working or cooking. She makes me a meal. Could literally just be a glass of water, but when she does it, it is just that much better. When we used to play games on the computer, she would main the pyromancer class while I played the heavy class. She would run around me in circles, taunting other players. She invades my personal space, as I am not a touchy-feely kind of person, by sitting on my lap and forcing me to cuddle. She is wonderful. Story 6. Not a man, so feel free to delete. I say this as someone who grew up with 3 brothers and no sisters. You have to be very direct a lot of the time. If you communicate to your husband, I realize I can come across as strong and have it all together. When I do that, it would mean a lot to me if you could help remind me I don't have to be and check in on me. It will go a long way. Literally tell him exactly what you want or need. He may be so used to you being this way that he just needs the green light to tap into this and help his brain reconfigure its blueprint a bit for your relationship. I read somewhere that men get a bonding hormone by doing things for you or holding true to their promises and commitment to you. I have no idea if it's true or not, but presenting this directly to him and then giving him opportunities will help. Do not be surprised or upset if you have to remind him a few times. The main goal is to get both of you where you want to be, and that will take practice. Lots of praise is important when he follows through. Best of luck. Story 7. When we sit on a park bench, she snuggles in close to me. Then I put my arm around her. We have been doing this for nearly 25 years. Story 8. I appreciate my wife's versatility. There's a time and a place for everything. When we go to dinner, she knows how to dress up with heels, lace, and red lipstick. When we roll out of bed and go to brunch, she's out the door in 8 minutes, clean-faced, a natural brunette beauty with nothing but lip balm on. She'll let me step in when there's a snake in the yard that needs to be removed or when her water bottle lid is on too tight. But she can also handle work boots while hauling mulch around the yard. She keeps the mystery alive, playing hard to get just enough to keep me enamored with her. But she's fiercely loyal and capable in a crisis, better than any partner I could hope for. She rocks sneakers and sweatshirts as well as she rocks her luxury lingerie and designer shoes. Basically, I'm saying it's about versatility. Nobody wants a one-dimensional partner. One-trick ponies get old. A partner who is diverse and can adapt to any situation as herself and make it work is a treasure. Story 9. We are ranchers. I love working with my wife. She has an unparalleled love for animals, and she is skilled with a chainsaw. She is a beautiful person and looks great on her horse as well. Story 10. I find my lady to be funny and witty. She is never afraid to express her opinion, even in public when she is outnumbered. She is incredibly smart and thoughtful. She isn't too proud to admit when she is wrong during our little disagreements. I think it is adorable when her glasses slip down her nose and she pushes them back up. She gets energetic when she has candy. I am genuinely attracted to everything she does, especially when her upstate New York accent comes through. Story 11. When she walks by and lightly touches my shoulder or chest and smiles before going about her business, it feels like someone cares about me. It's a small gesture that reassures me that I am okay. It makes my heart melt. Story 12. When I wake up to her and she is sleeping peacefully, I could watch her forever, and I wish I could just enjoy the aesthetic beauty of her body. Time could freeze for all eternity, and I would be happy with this view. Story 13. My wife and I are in our 30s. We have mental and emotional check-ins every so often where we talk about our goals, what is stressful, and whether we need to improve our communication or show love and appreciation in our love languages. We enjoy finding a show or movie to watch together, as quality time and physical touch are important for us. This also aids communication, as we love exchanging our ideas and viewpoints during breaks or between episodes. With this said, we also give each other space to enjoy time and activities alone, which can be challenging with kids. We share little kisses and touches while passing by and engage in playful teasing and flirting. Over time, we have tried to incorporate most of the 5 love languages in some capacity, even the ones that aren't high on either of our preferred languages, until they became natural. You don't want to force it. Just find little ways to express, "I am thinking of you," every once in a while. It means so much to us, and I hope it helps. For me, it's the little things she does. Random kisses, bringing me a coffee if she didn't see me grab a cup before work, thanking me for doing specific things, especially if I seem tired or it took a while to finish, or wearing perfume or dressing up to catch my eye. In summary, it's about saying or doing little things that convey, "I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you. I am thankful for you." Story 14. When my wife is dancing and singing in the kitchen, I have one of those moments when I wonder how I got so lucky. Story 15. 1. Doing all the wonderful things a mother does with our kids, such as applying Band-Aids, teaching them, and discussing their day. 2. Ensuring that communication and touch points with extended family are managed. Whether it's my side of the family or hers, everything runs smoothly. 3. How she manages tutors, teachers, and other parents during playdates or sports events is impressive. I often feel drained from dealing with challenges at work, yet she masterfully gets things done and handles difficult conversations with ease and without drama. It's a true superpower. Story 16. Farts and burps may not be sexually attractive, but they show how comfortable you are with me. Story 17. I didn't take the time to read all the off-mark comments, but I am sure you are beautiful just as you are. The energy you talk about embodies strength and grace. You are a powerful and enthralling woman, so never forget that. You don't need to conform to societal expectations or buy all the products that tell you what a real woman should be. I appreciate the strength you exude, and you shouldn't feel like you need to be anyone else. I used to think I had to wear makeup, get my nails and hair done, and use perfume to be attractive to my partner. If you want to do those things for yourself, go for it, but don't do it for him. You are enough. Regarding your relationship, that is a separate conversation you need to have with him. Share what you need and how you want to be treated. Also, ask him how he is doing and what he is going through internally. He married you for a reason. He loves you. Story 18, almost everything. Everything except making a mess in the kitchen, as I do almost all the cooking and cleaning there, so it's my happy place. Aside from that, just my wife existing makes me attracted to her, although she gets annoyed by it. Story 19. She acts feminine, and that makes me want to act masculine. When we walk, she sometimes holds onto my arm. When we sit on the sofa, she leans back against me. When she can't open or lift something, she asks me to help. When she paints her nails, she comments on how they look feminine to me. I told her long ago that I prefer longer hair, not waist length, but longer. I know she would rather have it short, as she has mentioned on several occasions, but she keeps it long because she knows I think it looks more feminine. She doesn't like wearing dresses or skirts, so she buys tops that are particularly feminine. She also tends to let me take the lead in many situations. Don't interpret that as a weakness. She is incredibly strong-willed, which is one of the reasons I married her. She has a home office, is a project manager, and takes charge during calls. Similarly, there have been times when we disagreed, and she can be extremely direct. Being feminine doesn't equate to being weak, and being submissive to your partner in some aspects doesn't mean being submissive in all. There are certainly times when I let her take the lead. Story 20, easy. Be his peace. What does that mean? Well, when he comes home, a kiss and a hug go a long way. Also, don't start with, I think you should, or can you? Give him 20 minutes to unpack the stress of his day. He will be happier to help around the house and parent if you don't jump into it right away. A random hug and a thank you for all you do goes a million miles. I don't know what your sex life is like, but if we did it twice a week, I'd be very happy. Give it to him. Let him have the best 5 minutes of his life twice. And maybe once a week you initiate it. It's great to be desired. It beats the alternative of coming to you and hoping not to get turned down. It's defeating. It's just a couple of minutes a day of being nice and thoughtful, and that's all it takes. Story 21. She loves to dote on me and feed me. What I find attractive is when she brings my food to me. She always seems so happy to feed me and is eager to know that I love the food. Even when I'm working, I always stop to give her that moment, telling her how much I appreciate her and how amazing the food is. There are so many reasons I'm in love with this woman, and I love living with her. She turned this house into a home, but really, she is my home. Story 22. Something that really gets to me is when we're getting into bed at night. She pulls the covers down and gets on her knees to get situated. She remains on her knees while standing straight. She looks so good when she does this. Then she lays down, and I sit up to pull the blankets over her and tuck her in. Story 23. She is a great mother and emotionally intelligent. She is completely loyal and has no interest in anything that compromises the well-being of our family or relationship. My wife is feminine and petite, while I am 6 feet tall and weigh 235 pounds. There is no question regarding our roles as protector. Story 24. My lady is sweet, smart, funny, attentive, and lovely. She is also a great cook. What's not to love? Story 25. Maybe you have shown your gruff outward behavior for so long that he thinks that is who you are. Regularly ask for help with both big and small matters, especially those related to protection. Tell him directly that you feel safest when he is around, as this can trigger his protective instinct. Story 26. It's a combination and not just one specific thing. Here's what gets me every time. 1. She greets me when I get home from work, even though she's already tired from her job. We talk about us as a couple first and our day, rather than only focusing on kids and relatives. I'm a listener, but I'm always delighted that she gives me her complete attention whenever I want to speak to her. We are often romantic and a bit cheesy with each other. For example, I try to make her blush with compliments, leaning in just right and kissing her cheeks softly before I leave for work. It works. We enjoy cooking, doing chores, exercising, and walking the dog together. We give each other space to unwind and just be for some time after a hectic workday. I like to give her massages, which I find often works. I enjoy cartoons, video games, and ice cream during daily TV shows or movie nights, and I'm always glad that she understands even if she doesn't always join me. She indulges the child in me. I'm grateful that she equally wants to contribute to all expenses, investments, and savings. During intimacy, she's always open with her desires. I believe communication is crucial. She gives me back, neck, and head massages with great skill. 10. Finally, she's a great mom and my best friend. I know I'm a very lucky guy. Story 27. I mean, just about everything. Here are some highlights. Every night when I get home, she insists on a passionate kiss and embrace. She walks around the house barefoot and shows off a lot of skin whenever she can. During the workday, she texts me to say she loves me, sometimes making playful suggestions or sending a picture. She fondles me whenever she gets the chance, even in public, and also playfully slaps my rear. She cooks amazing dinners. She cuddles and spoons with me every night. Story 28. Engaging in activities typically seen as unconventional for women, such as watching a game together, playing a video game, or initiating intimacy in a confident manner. Do things that you know he would enjoy and might not expect from a woman. Story 29. Being an alpha male all my life, my wife is also a take charge kind of woman. She can handle things on her own, buys a car by herself, and books trips that include activities I enjoy. It's always a nice surprise. Her thoughtfulness makes her a true gem for me. Story 30. Exists seriously though, her smell is intoxicating. For example, when she does quirky things that she thinks would make her less attractive. It is comforting for her to express that when normally no one else would see it besides her immediate family. Our children are developing the same behaviors, which is incredibly adorable. Story 31. I am divorced twice, which suggests I may not be husband material. I apologize for not being able to help. My first marriage ended because our lifestyles were different, and we eventually drifted apart. 50 years later, we are still good friends and have had a couple of businesses together after the divorce. We were married for about 10 years. My second marriage lasted 28 years. I was a law enforcement officer, and after retirement, I worked as a firefighter for another 12 years. Once I fully retired, I seldom had contact with the agencies. 7 years later, she left me, claiming I was crazy, severely depressed, angry, and suicidal. The mention of being suicidal got my attention. Being a military veteran, I contacted my provider and was there the next morning. 6 hours later, it was discovered that I wasn't crazy but was somewhat depressed and had anger issues. I was determined not to be suicidal. I started therapy and participated in an addiction management program. My soon-to-be ex-wife said, "Too little, too late," and we divorced. She has a very negative attitude toward me, which I still do not understand. For the past 14 years, I have continued my mental health care. Several people have told me that the issues were all hers. The Veterans Affairs Administration indicated it was pent-up post-traumatic stress disorder and depression from my time in Vietnam. She eventually sought mental health care, was prescribed medication, and attended a few therapy sessions. Since we are no contact, I receive information from mutual friends. She stopped all treatment, and people say she returned to her problematic behavior. The only thing I can conclude is that she was interested in the uniform and the respect it brought. Once that was gone, so was I. The surprising thing is that 14 years later, I still have strong feelings for her. Neither of us has anyone else in our lives. Story 32. Whenever I get home from work, she opens the garage door for me and lets our dog, Kai, run out to greet me. I love this tradition, he gets so excited. Other little things she does include lighting candles and having our place clean with food ready when I get home. We also shower together every day, and I try to make sure we have a nice walk at least 2 to 3 times a week. Keeps the romance alive. I cherish her for simply being herself. Whether she is dancing, running around the house chasing our dog, or enjoying snacks, she always leaves a little mess. I know opening up is hard, but I believe in you all. Story 33. A day for lists. She takes extreme care in her grooming in the morning. It doesn't take a long time, but she has a precise method. I enjoy just watching her work. She is reasonable with the children. I fully admit that the older I get, the more I resemble my father with the kids. I am pretty stoic and maybe a little quick to temper. She has certainly gone in the opposite direction. She is not as quick to temper as she was and is more fun and lighthearted. After the kids go to bed, she pours herself a cocktail, slips into some lingerie, and puts a robe over it. She lounges about, sipping her cocktail while occasionally teasing me with a glimpse. Story 34. Taps into my love languages. Acts of service is my top love language. If she does something that brings me great benefit but is of no benefit to her, that will always mean more to me than anything else as it shows care, compassion, and a willingness to help and support me. Story 35. I feel like I won the lottery when it comes to my wife. She is my best friend and an amazing mother. I often find myself admiring her, reflecting on how lucky I am to have such a beautiful woman in my life. Story 36. When I was married to my late wife, she would always give me a kiss and a hug for the day. Then she would greet me at the door with another hug and kiss, often making us both laugh. Story 37. My wife checks my phone with my permission once a month while we watch Netflix on the couch together. She views about 20 minutes of the adult content I have been into over the past 30 days. Then, for the rest of the month, she brings that into our bedroom. Story 38. Don't try to change yourself by looking at others. I know it's tempting, but find happiness in what you have. The dissatisfaction and the search for change never stops. Story 39. From a woman's perspective, I understand where you are. Embrace your femininity by wearing feminine clothes, practicing self-care, and engaging in activities that make you feel like a woman. Be gentle, soft, and kind. If you find something you need help with, simply ask for assistance. These actions can encourage your partner to connect with his masculine energy, and you may notice him becoming more protective over time. I have relaxed significantly and now experience greater peace, avoiding conflict more than I did before. I am grateful for my partner and the safety and warmth he has created, allowing me to grow into the woman I have always wanted to be. Story 41. Eye contact is important. Good, direct eye contact can be playful, like a look over the shoulder. It can happen first thing in the morning with some affection or during a conversation where she is fully engaged with you. While cuddling, she might play with my hair or scalp. Sneak attack hugs involve sneaking up and wrapping arms around me from behind, giving a cuddle or squeeze while I am doing something. If tickling is enjoyable for him, that could be included, but if he is not into it, it may be a turn-off. Try some of these suggestions and see if he softens up a bit. Story 41. I wish this discussion had existed a few months ago. I was never able to express to my wife that the qualities that attracted me to her were much deeper than just surface level. Story 42. My wife is very traditional, as am I. What is attractive is how much she genuinely cares about me and how good she is as a mother to our two little ones. She is sweet, easygoing, full of love, does not swear, and is genuinely happy without material items or social media. She dresses conservatively and wants to build a life together. She follows my lead and supports me no matter what. Story 43. He might trust you a lot. He probably feels you don't need him to be overly protective. If you need something, you will speak up. If you want to be treated a certain way, you can talk to your partner. When both of you are putting forth effort in the relationship, such as contributing and giving, then you are both trying. If you express what you would like, he might agree. For example, if you do the dishes while he does the laundry, split the bills, he handles outdoor work, and you cook, it shows that you both are making an effort. When both partners give and try, it demonstrates that you both care. Some people express their feelings differently, so you might need to ask for what you would like. For instance, after a shower, you could ask to cuddle on the bed. While out walking, you could take his hand. On the couch, you could cuddle while watching TV. Whatever action you desire for comfort, just ask for it or demonstrate it to him, and he may reciprocate. Story 44. My wife makes an effort to meet the needs I have expressed to her. She is about 5 feet tall and has insecurities about her acne and a slight abdominal bulge. She has also had a low sex drive throughout her life. However, she dresses well, exercises, and diets. She often initiates intimacy, even when she isn't feeling it, because she knows it makes me feel loved. In short, she does her best with the mind, body, and natural attributes she has, and that effort makes me feel loved, appreciated, and attracted to her. Additionally, there are other things I enjoy, like her not wearing a bra, playful touches, and surprising me around the corner ready to be intimate. Story 45. Many people provide superficial answers to your question, but few address the fundamental misunderstanding you have regarding biology and personality that affects your relationships and perspectives in life. There is no such thing as feminine or masculine energy. These are merely individual personality traits not determined by gender. Not all women are naturally inclined to be submissive or possess what is referred to as feminine energy, just as not all men display aggression or exhibit masculine energy. These traits have been socially imposed on men and women because society historically viewed women as inferior and men as superior based on physical characteristics. There have always been dominant women and submissive men. This is not a new phenomenon linked to feminism or recent societal changes. It is an attempt to revert people to traditional gender roles under a different label. The reason your husband treats you like a rock rather than a gem, as you describe, does not hinge on your femininity. If he was physically attracted to you initially, he subconsciously perceives you as feminine. Unless you appear or sound very masculine, it is unlikely that you are not feminine enough. It is more plausible that he either does not love you as deeply as you wish or does not recognize your value in his life, leading him to take you for granted. There may also be external factors affecting the attention he gives you and the relationship. Consider asking him if anything significant has been happening lately. You might also try asking for help to reach something high or lift something heavy. The only context in which masculine energy might be felt is when discussing topics traditionally associated with men, such as physical strength. This is why men often enjoy rescuing a damsel in distress. It allows them to showcase their unique masculine traits. However, the concept of masculine or feminine energy does not extend beyond the physical differences between men and women. Story 46. My wife has had experiences similar to yours. She has had to be strong for her family, so she has built a tough exterior over the years. One of my favorite things she has done recently is embrace her feminine side. There is nothing wrong with being strong for your partner, but there is also nothing wrong with being soft and gentle. Have you asked him what he would like? My wife asks me what I would like her to wear. It makes me feel included, appreciated, and acknowledged. Best of luck. Story 47. Women's liberation has gone too far, and now it is all out of balance. Hear me out before getting defensive. Today's women have the attitude that they don't need a man, or they believe they are equal to men or subscribe to the notion of toxic masculinity. If you, as a woman, want to be treated like a queen, we need to feel like kings, not in the literal sense, though. We need to feel needed. That's what we thrive on. Men and women are supposed to balance each other out, with men being stronger and more aggressive and women being softer, calmer, and more calculated. It is not a matter of being absolute equals, but rather both bringing different strengths to the table, recognizing them, and utilizing them to benefit the relationship. Don't act like you don't need us and then be shocked when we don't put you on a pedestal. I have been married to my wife for 18 years. She is 41, and I am 50. We both take on traditional roles, and it works well for us. There is no doubt that she has a man in her corner who will rise to the occasion every time without hesitation. Story 48. To be more feminine, don't always give your advice. Let him do things for you. When he rubs your arm, say thank you. When you ask him what he thinks and how to handle something, do it his way. Let him take the lead. I didn't say control, but if you fight him on every decision, he will stop giving his input. I hear women say they don't need a man. They can take care of themselves, earn their own money, receive a better education, and are ambitious. Great, you just described the man you want. Since you embody those qualities, he may feel he's not needed. There is a great book titled How to Raise a Husband by Dr. Laura. My wife gave it to her nieces before they got married, and they say it works. Story 49. I am married to my husband. I didn't grow up feeling safe and protected, so I had to develop a lot of masculine energy. Now, in my marriage, I am noticing that my husband isn't as protective over me. He acts somewhat aloof. I want to embrace my feminine energy, so I am asking you all what your wives do that makes you see them as gems and not rocks. This isn't just a male issue. It's an issue of communication between you and your husband. We can share what we find attractive, but ultimately, we aren't in a relationship with you or your husband. Men do not share a singular perspective on this subject. If we offer suggestions and your husband is not receptive, what then? If this is a concern, you should discuss it with him directly. It's better to get clarity from him than to rely on opinions from others online. Edit. Dear men, what does your wife do that you find attractive? I find it a bit disappointing that you didn't consider asking this question of him after you got married. For anyone who might respond, maybe she did. If she had, she wouldn't have posted this question. She could have asked him this a couple of times since their marriage. Exploring why she hasn't done that would take a long time. Story 50. Protecting her means ensuring she is safe from physical assault. It also means recognizing her uniqueness among all other women and making sure I won't lose her. Story 51. All the details are fine, but she uses too much profanity. If anyone else did that, I would be annoyed. However, it's cute when she does it. Story 52. Her existence is beautiful in itself. She is an incredible mother, so kind to me and others, and she trusts me completely to lead the family. Story 53. Dresses for work or a date night. After 32 years, all I get are sweatpants and whatever comfortable. Baggy tops have been in my drawer for a decade. Story 54. Not a wife, but my ex used to space out and tilt her head slightly as if resting on her shoulder while looking upward. She often had her eyebrows slightly tensed, deep in thought, and her nostrils would flare just enough to hint at her wanting to talk. My God, I could look at that face until the heat death of the universe. Story 55. Fertile handle upbeat rainstorm disagreeable truck melodic jar vase quicksand. Story 56. She doesn't yell at me, doesn't put me down, and isn't always complaining about the mood. She brings me peace when I need it most. Story 57. Summary. Be yourself. Let your guard down. Trust him. I used to be very shy and grew up being kept indoors, afraid of what the world has to offer. However, being with my boyfriend makes me feel lighthearted, giddy, and excited to try new things. This has apparently made him fall even more in love with me. What my boyfriend loves most are the moments when I am simply being myself. Whether I'm eating cakes, sleeping, cooking, shopping, drawing, getting ready, or playing with my parents. I feel safe and secure with him, and I express that by being authentic. The things I once feared have suddenly become exciting because I have him by my side. Being yourself also shows that you don't need to change for someone else because you trust them. There is nothing more feminine than feeling safe and secure in the presence of your partner. That's why many men comment on the simple, everyday things their partners do. The women trust these men. It is when women are their true, authentic, and vulnerable selves that their partners feel love and find them attractive. Not every man is the same, though. It is essential to communicate openly with your partner. Be yourself in the way that makes you feel safest and happiest. The past is the past, and it should remain there, so give yourself a chance for a new way of living by letting your guard down and trusting your partner. I hope this helps. Best of luck. Story 58. I don't have a wife, but I had a significant other 6 months ago. We were together for over 10 years. She made me see myself as I am. I never felt so secure in being myself around her. We developed a sense of humor and shared many inside jokes. I appreciated the small things she did for me. When I broke my foot, she was there to help with every need I had. Story 59. It is inspiring how grateful many of the commentators are for their partners. I often find myself focusing on the negative in people. Story 60. One thing that seemed mystical to me was that I could open the door and not even step all the way inside. And without saying a word, she would know if I had a good day or not. She was like a horse sensing a rider's emotions. She could come in, throw her purse across the room, and kick the dog, and I would still have to ask her how her day was. Of course, there were also times when I would say one sentence, and she would interpret it as 3 paragraphs of meaning that I didn't intend. Story 61. I am approaching 10 years with my partner. She dresses very feminine. If something is hard for you to do, but you know he could do it easier, just ask for his help. Story 62. She does this adorable thing where she dresses up like herself and then acts unkind all day long. Story 63. My partner does anything to please me. She uses her last penny to make me happy, though I obviously wouldn't allow her to do that. She treats me well all the time and lets me have my own time. She supports my gaming hobby. I can't say anything negative about her, except that she is very selfless, even toward others. I'm not sure if that's because she has a mild learning difficulty, but I wouldn't change her for the world. Story 64. Listen to me and respond thoughtfully, as if you have truly listened and considered what I just said. Story 65. She still smiles. She is not obsessed with her life to the point that I distract her when I talk to her. We are still friends, and I guess we remain friendly. Story 66. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. Story 67. You need to tell him that you can't tap into your feminine energy until he taps into his masculine energy and decides to be more protective. Let him know that you need physical, emotional, and financial security, and that is all you need from him. As humans, we have a natural tendency to be protective of those in our care, particularly if they appear weaker than us. It seems that him seeing you as more cautious and guarded is something he misinterprets as voluntary self-sufficiency. We have all been taught this notion of equality, and sadly, many men have lost the natural incentive to be protective of their partners. I experienced a similar issue with my wife. In her case, she learned not to trust men too much. Coupled with having many brothers, it meant she was more masculine than I realized. This used to frustrate me, and I felt emasculated, wondering why she never took my advice or trusted me. The man needs to lead in the relationship. When a man falls for the idea that men and women are the same except for gender, he may assume women do not need a unique level of care. This belief is destructive to the relationship. Ironically, this notion of equality can lead to injustice by treating people the same despite their different needs. You should find resources about how women need to feel safe, ideally ones that also address what both men and women need. Women need security, and men need respect. However, the man must lead in providing security first. It's the same way we don't respect those more powerful than us when they don't provide us with security. What you're feeling is normal and healthy. It shows your introspective abilities are high. Bravo to you for having a growth mindset. Hopefully, you can inspire that in him as well. He needs to feel like he is doing it of his own accord, not because you ordered him. Don't frame it as this is what you need to do. Instead, frame it as this is what I need from you, however you want to do it. Interestingly, it was Andrew Tate who made me realize that women want a man who can protect and provide for them, which genuinely saved my marriage. Before that, I was very irresponsible. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.